This is Katie with Homeschool Chat. We are going to talk today about the best way to begin homeschooling. So I'm pretty excited because from now on I get to share things that are dear to my heart and things that make homeschooling easier and more fun and more workable. So after you've decided to homeschool and you've met your state's requirements for homeschooling, then you get to choose a way to teach. So here are some things to consider. Your lifestyle and your family life, how that all works, your students' learning style. So students generally, you need to determine if they learn visually, if they learn audibly, or if they learn by doing, hands-on things. Also, I'm going to get into more details of that in a later show. So once you've determined what your needs are in those categories, then you can look at curriculum. So there are so many options now. You can buy curriculum. So you can buy curriculum like Abeka. Look it up online. You can purchase it. Bob Jones. I used teaching textbooks for math. There's so many things out there that you can find. So just look it up online and see what you can find. So you can also do curriculum based on free stuff. This depends on your child's age, of course, but you can utilize the public library, and you can, in theory, you could do probably a history class using the public library, and then for assignments do writing reports or oral reports. For little kids, you might even be able to use library books to do science. So there are a lot of different options there. Other free things are to use FactMonster, which is online, and to use Wikipedia, which is online. Be careful when you use Wikipedia. I did an animal study, and somebody else had edited the page, and it just so wasn't correct. It was like somebody was trying to make a joke on there. So be careful. Curriculum that you can choose that's hands-on. If your child learns hands-on, you can do a lot of things. You won't probably be able to do hands-on classes for all of the subjects, but you can do them for a lot of the subjects. So science kits, computer games, field trips. You can do trips to museums. You could do Trace the Steps, educational board games. You can do workbooks. You can do planting a garden as a science thing, depending on the age of your kid. So there'll be more on that later. So that is hands-on stuff. Another type of curriculum that you can do is online. What we have in Washington State is called K through 12, and that is, I'm not sure, I think it's free online program that kids can do at home. I know there are a lot of other options though, so just look into it. If you have a child that is an audio visual learner, you can use educational TV shows. You can do computer games also, again. You can do field trips also, again, and you can do educational online sites. There's quite a few of them. Then also you can make your own curriculum, which I did quite a lot because I started getting really interested in, I don't know, I really don't know. I felt like I could do it better, and I was so interested in what the kids were learning, and that I thought, well, you don't want your child to be bored, right? So I did a lot of things that a lot of curriculums that I felt vamped it up a lot to do my own curriculum. The other thing that you can do is you can do homeschool co-ops. That seems to be really popular. I know a lot of homeschool moms that do the homeschool co-ops, and they help a little bit at the co-op, and they take their kids to classes. So if that's your thing, that is an option for you. So that is all of that. So pursue what curriculum you chose. Buy the curriculum, buy the supplies as needed. And then the next thing I'm going to say, I'm going to talk more about at the end of this program. Test your new curriculum for a period of time with your student to see if it works. I don't know how many times I've started a curriculum and it just didn't work. And so I had to change my plan. If you know going into it that there's a possibility that this curriculum won't work, you're not going to be disappointed. Your kid's not going to be, distraught over it. So, all right. Now we're beginning homeschooling. One of the things that I need to talk about is meals and chores. Homeschooling takes a lot of time if you're doing it right. And this is going to affect your meals and chores. In my experience, I found that homeschooling is a full-time job, but then you don't go home afterwards because you're already home. So if your child has homework, you're there to help your kid with homework. If your child has papers that need to be corrected, you're at home to correct those papers. So the first thing that suffers are those two things, meals and chores. So here are some ways to help with that. You can do a 1 day a month freezer prep, so freezer meal prep with your students. And I've done a lot of that. I've taken 1 day out of the month, and me and my student at the time, we do freezer meals. You can also use a service like Schwann's or HelloFresh. There's a whole bunch of those kind of services out there, so you can look into that. The other thing is, if you're okay with eating chicken tenders, fish sticks, boxed rice, hamburger helper, fresh produce, veggies and fruit, meat and cheese trays, bagged salad, food from the store, just from the deli department. If you're okay with that, then that might be your thing. So, and for chores, all I can say is schedule chore time into your day. Homeschool can be a fluid experience. So sometimes you can say, this is math class and it's going to take you an hour to do this. Especially if you have more than one kid, it gets interesting. This is math class and it's a 1 hour period and you're done at the end of that 1 hour. Well, sometimes kids have troubles and they have questions. They haven't finished their lesson. You don't have homework because you decided that after this certain time, kids aren't going to school anymore because you have things to do as a teacher, as a parent. You have things to do. But then your child didn't finish lesson 4. Then the next day didn't finish lesson 5. Homeschool sometimes runs into other time periods. And it makes it hard to, if you just go until you're done, to schedule in chore time sometimes. So schedule in chore time and see how that works. So I've told you everything to get started. So congratulations, you have begun. I have a whole bunch of extra information and I'm going to read this to you because I think it's important. So when testing your curriculum to see if it's going to work or not, you'll either know right away that the curriculum isn't working, or if it is working, or it'll take like 1 to 3 months to know. You'll know at the end of 1 to 3 months because you'll find that your child isn't completing the assignments at the time that they should. You'll find that they're frustrated. You'll find that you're at a stalemate. They need extra help. You'll find it. You'll find if it's working, or they refuse to do it. That's another thing. So in 1 to 3 months, you'll know, and you'll know if you need to change curriculums for that subject. Be willing to adjust your circumstances. So you will overcome, pre-plan, and add an element of fun to your day, because this is a rare opportunity that you're going to have to spend time with your child, and your kids grow up super fast. So you're blessed to have extra time with them that they would be in a public school. So plan a little bit of fun into your day. So I want to put a little disclaimer, a little note. There are some parents that are not made to teach homeschooling. And you'll know that if you're one of those parents. You'll say, oh my gosh, no way, I can't handle this. I don't like it. It's icky. And there are some students that really don't belong in the traditional homeschooling setting. And they'll let you know. They'll say, Mom, I can't stand this. I'm alone too much. I want to do this. I want to do that. You'll know. And that's okay. There are options, and we'll talk about those in a later show. So that's about all I have for today. So thank you for joining me at Homeschool Chat, and I hope you have a blessed day. Bye.